climbed the stairway and noticed a silhouette in one of the classrooms. Looking carefully, it could be the student council president, Labrys. I will be relieved if I have caught up to her soon, but the hand I raised to knock on the door inevitably stopped. Wait, could she be my next opponent? He wasn't in the promotional video, but neither was I, yet I am being forced to fight in the Grand Prix. But there's no point in worrying about that now. Can I change the path I take nor the opponent on my face? I prepare myself and knock lightly on the door.
You're that girl from before.
The girl turned and noticed me. I set foot in the classroom. There is no immediate interruption from General Tiggy. Looks like he has not scheduled a match between us. I breathe a sigh of relief.
What are you doing here?
Ain't it obvious? I'm cleaning up the classroom. It's no picnic, what with people running wild and wrecking things.
He takes down the chair piles on top of each other and lines them up. After a few runs, he takes a break. Though she is complaining, there's a gentle smile on her face.
But I guess this is all in a day's work for a student council president. We'll look back on it and laugh, right?
You seem like you're having fun.
That's because I love my school. Even the chores are fun for me.
What kind of chores is fun?
The reason I wanted to be president is because of that. Oh, it can be rough when things get out of hand like this.
But it's dangerous here. You must leave at once. Won't you?
You come with me? She seemed confused by the words and tilted her head to one side.
What? You're worried about me? Hey, I'm the president. And you might not think so to look at me, but I ain't no slouch in a fight. I'll be fine.
No, that's not what I mean.
How should I put this? She still has no idea of the danger. She walks up next to me, takes a long look at my face, and giggles.
The clothes are pretty out there, but I can see you mean well. Thanks. Some of these students won't listen to a word I say, but I feel like I gotta be here. No, I wanna be here.
Even if it puts you in danger?
You're really a drama queen, aren't you? Who's to say I'm in danger for sure? Besides...
Her eyes burned with affection for something dear to her.
Even if you're right, I'd want to stay here.
There is no need to test her commitment. It is consistent with the fact of this world being created. And is she human?
I always wanted to go to school with everyone, just like normal. That's all.
Does that imply you couldn't do so before?
You're asking me honestly? Back then,
She stopped abruptly. I wait patiently for her to continue, but her face twists with suffering.
Huh?
She put her finger to her temple. Her knees begin to buckle.
What's wrong?
Weird. The past. How come it's...
She begins to fall, and I catch her. At that precise moment, there's a strong reading from my finger as soon as I touch her. It's so strong, like touching a hot stove. This is the same reading as when I first stuck my hand into the TV. It is coming from a personality model, a piece of lost technology called Clumps of Dots by the researcher due to its seed. I have one inside me as well. This is not merely strong evidence, it's a conclusive. There are still questions to be answered, but this girl can be none other than Labrys. At the very least, she is not human.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm not feeling so good all of a sudden.
The memory she is trying to access is causing conflict with her current level of awareness. If she tries to remember, she will not be able to maintain her mental state. The memory is that arch. I hold her close and wait for her to calm down. But her reaction does not improve, it gets worse. She shakes finally as if electrified. Suddenly, bright light bursts in front of my eyes. Is something flowing into me? I quickly let go of Labrys, but it does not fade away easily. Images I don't recognize flow together in my head, one after another, at incredible speed.
Are these Labrys' memories?
The torrent of data finally subsides. I analyze the data to find out what happened, and then I understand. It did not flow into me. This data was already dormant inside of me. I am the last number of anti-shadow weapon project. I inherit all the data from the previous model of the same type, both tangible and intangible. Labrys' memory were part of it. Normally, the developer would not upload data into me that was unrelated to battle, but the plum of dust is a black box. It is possible that something was transferred somehow through that. Thinking about it, that might have been the reason I thought I saw Labrys at the airport. A glimpse of the newly awakened Labrys caused my bird record of her appearance to be called. Perhaps that is what happened. Unfortunately, the memory half just access are in complete disarray. I just flipped through it like an album. Video records were not in chronological order, making them useless in their current state. However, there was one memory that left an impression on me. The sea, the cerulean sky and lingering clouds, the emerald blue water. All of the other memories are of cold, mechanical room or the night sky. But this one is different.
What was that just now?
Labrys staged her as he stand up. Before I can answer anything, she abruptly shakes me off and runs out of the classroom.
Wait!
I tried to chase after her, but after only a few steps I tripped over my own feet. The information overload has prevented me from making any sudden movement. I fight through it, dragging what feels like several times the weight of my leg when...
Are you sure you want to take that girl out of here?
I stumble to a stop and shop around and look around searching for the hidden speaker.
This is the only place she can fit in. No one will understand her once she steps outside. But she can't become human either, so she has no other choice but to wallow in this illusory school. Pitiable, isn't she? But this is the only way she can be happy. Are you going to take that from her? Who are...
I stopped, suddenly realizing the answer to my question, and catch my breath in my throat. This voice is mine.
What will you do after you take her from here? Lock her up in a box again? How cruel. No wonder she ran away. Ran away? What are you... You don't mean... You finally figured it out? Labrys wasn't brought here by some sinister mastermind. She escaped on her own and came here. That can't be. The suspects in the hijacking case... I'm sure you've seen the opponents you fought so far robbed of their sanity. Have you forgotten already? You're saying that was Labrys' doing too? Yes. Her heart gave birth to this world, and that power is one of her abilities, from some special equipment. With a power like that, wouldn't it be simple to control a number of ordinary people?
It's true that the hijackers were confused and that there were signs of some mental interference.
It does seem strange to go to so much trouble to come to a place like this. If she did in fact do this, then she must face herself. What gives you the right to say that?
Suddenly, the tone of her voice changed. She spoke very gently, like a parent correcting a child.
You've experienced suffering before too. It pains you to have a heart, knowing that you can never be human. Even if there was someone you considered to be worth fighting for, you can't be a real companion to them. That's why you chose to protect them as a weapon. But in the end, you still lost them.
What do you know about me? Mere words will not cause
A brave bluff. But a tool like yourself can never be a true partner for a human. Doesn't your heart yearn to be by their side and to be loved? It hurts so much that I wish I could go back to how I was before I gained a heart. Has that really never once crossed your mind? I think not. That pain will never completely disappear. It will always fester inside you. Isn't that right? Even if you take Labrys away, the same will happen to her. She'll become just like you. Is that a fate you want for her? You see, here you can have anything, as long as you look away from the truth. That doesn't just go for Labrys, but for you too. Even the things you have lost forever, here, you can have them back.
What are you?
At myself, realizing that I'm becoming fascinated with the voice. This isn't good. I cannot let the voice deceive me. I must get its speaker in my sight first. I carefully tune myself to the source of the voice and quickly turn in that direction. But the person standing there is me. Or rather, something that looks like me. At first, I think that the overload is still affecting my sensor, but that is not the case.
I'll take away your suffering. Now, take my hand, Aigis.
I smile and stick out my hand. I feel sick. This is very confusing. I don't know what to do. My mind advises caution, but my heart don't listen. But all of a sudden, a door opened in the corner.
Pardon my interruption of this seemingly trivial conversation.
This unexpected event brings me back to reality, and I realized that I wasn't nearly seduced by its promises. On a second look, I can see a woman beyond the door frame. That distinctive blue dress, I recognized the attire of an elevator girl. Her name was Elizabeth's son, I believe. But why is he here? Elizabeth walked right in and stand in the center of the room. There is nothing outwardly abnormal about her pose, but it is as imposing as a battle stance. She opens her thick leather-bound book, then smiles, not to see at the other me.
Excuse me, but I would like a word with this lady over here. Would you mind leaving?
Who are you?
If you don't leave the two of us, I must resort to giving you a hearty thrashing with my book. It's a hardcover, leather-bound edition, and is quite powerful. Enough to do over 4 digits on average, I'd say.
The warning, the page from the open book overflow with lights.
I don't believe this.
The other me face flinched in pain, and she vanished into thin air while spitting a curse. Did she cease to exist? I can no longer pick up any readings on her. The tension leaves my body and I collapse to the ground. While I am there, Elizabeth walked towards me. I first met her 2 years ago. Her attire is somewhat strange, but the place I met her was even stranger. A blue room. That is the only way to describe that mystical space. Its residents call it the Velvet Room. I do not believe it is at all part of the real world. There, Elizabeth was one of who governed power. She helped me to grow spiritually by introducing me to the power of personas. Damn it, so faith is canon. I never imagined that she would leave that room, let alone that I would run into her there. Yet her appearance here has saved me.
Sorry for that. Thank you for saving me.
Did I save you?
She stares straight at me, then lets out a long sigh of disappointment.
I was on a journey for personal reasons, but I sensed some extraordinary powers clashing against each other and came to see what all the fuss was about. Only to be met with this bitter disappointment.
I'm baffled by her
Please
candidness.
stand. Have you already forgotten the enlightenment you gained before me once? Has it escaped your prodigious goldfish-like memory? It seems that I must once again ascertain what you are truly capable of.
The speaking tone as if she engaging in everyday conversation and opened her leather-bound book again. Suddenly feel the deadly force of her intent, fierce as a gust of wind. Something about me has disappointed her, I know that much. But I clearly have no time to ask her what it is.
Here goes. The cards will decide your fate.
I'm really sleepy. I'm going to sleep now. See if I can sleep. Aigis dresses Elizabeth.
Final! Fight!
Test that one! Let's down! Fire! Here is some damage! This is finishing! Change things up! No! My turn! You're frozen first! Test fire! Go! This makes me see from this moment. Severe! No! No! Please look above. Damage! Up! Athena! Test fire! Go! Persona! First! Down! Fire! Go!
Well done.
Elizabeth stand from her kneeling position. Though she lost, she did not so much as break a sweat. While I, for my part, am detecting strain on my entire drive system. Can't see myself, lacking the energy to even speak, reflected in Elizabeth's clear eyes.
You are indeed neither man nor any ordinary machine. You are truly singular. But then can anyone be said to be the same as anybody else? People anguish over the gulf between themselves and others, and the lack of any who could possibly understand them. How is their situation different from yours? What defines life is not death, but bonds. That is the answer you once reached. Then take that to heart and go forth. Remember that your bonds will remain unbroken, giving you the strength to withstand any suffering.
My bonds.
I, too, am currently on an endless journey. But I anticipate that you will become a compatriot of mine, unbound by the limitations of time. I hope that you will not be led astray by trivial things. With that, I bid you good luck.
Elizabeth bows and finally showed me her smile. Immediately after, she turned on one heel and walked toward the hallway. I suddenly remember.
There are rules to this tournament delineating behavior after a match.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed. I shall be on my way.
True to her word, she left the room with no trouble and closes the door with an exaggerated slam. Those walls were nothing to her. But come to think of it, Labrys didn't seem subject to those rules either. Do they only apply to participants in the tournament? No, in Elizabeth's case, it simply does not matter to her.
She remains a complete enigma.
I find it amusing, which allowed me to feel more relaxed.
It may be true that this world can grant one's true desire, but I want Labrys to see past herself to a world where other people matter. Even if one discards their bonds to avoid pain, all that awaits is a numb, desert-like future with no promise. I thought as she did once, so I'm sure I can understand her.
I too felt the same as Labrys when I went through an incredibly trying ordeal. If there's no one to stretch out their hand to her, she'll hide herself deeper within her blockade. Labrys has fallen into a trap she cannot escape on her own. That is because the key to extricating oneself is the realization that one is not alone.
I want to form a bond with Labrys, with my sister. I want to teach her things that she cannot learn if she is alone.
Saying it out loud helped to strengthen my resolve. The changed my approach and focused on searching for a way to save her. Still, that thing that looked like me, was not the son meant by a shadow going berserk? My own shadow? Thinking of it that way said some likes on thing. Of course, I can control my persona and have some tolerance for this world, but the heart cannot easily be stabilized. If the same thing happened to Labrys, suddenly realized the dangers involved. I impatiently suppressed this dog and dashed out to the hallway. I followed the path formed by the invisible walls. Eventually, I climbed the stairway to the 3rd floor. There seemed to be no walls here, allowing me to go as I please. I can't tell the end is near, and so I prepare myself. Soon, I stand in front of a room that has a sign outside saying, "Announcement Room." The door is half open. I can sense someone inside. Cautiously press up against the door and peek around it. This is an announcement room, as the sign indicated, but the space inside is much larger than the classroom I have seen. Equipment here also is closer to that of a TV studio than that what we found in a school. On top of that, the back wall is made of glass, showing a view that is clearly not a schoolyard. Taken together, this is the first distinct sign that this is not the real world. As I expected, Labrys is here, standing in the middle of the room. There is also another boy and girl as well. The girl is holding Labrys' shoulder, and the boy stands in front of the pair, protecting them. Across from them is General Teddy. It seems this is the end of the line. I've seen that boy's face in the video. Yosuke Hanamura's son, I believe. I am not familiar with the girl face, but I do recognize her distinctive voice. It's the same voice that has been commenting on the fight along with General Teddy on the school PA. From the tone of the commenting, I thought she was working with the general, but right now she seems to be on Yosuke's son and Labrys' side. I recall what Chie-san told me. Chie-san said that the Rishi's son was originally their friend, in which case he may actually be another victim. General Teddy gave a cruel smile, squint his eye, and speak.
What a shame. We gave it a try, but there's no way anyone would understand you. Huh?
General Teddy's voice and tone have undergone a remarkable change. Listening closely, this voice is... so it finally revealed its true form.
At least one of them has to understand how I feel. Isn't that what you thought? The important part is that it's all your fault. That's not true. You still refuse to remember? Look at me. And stop deluding yourself.
Watched the movie so many times. Labrys and her ex.
I am a shadow. The true self.
No way. That's... She has my face.
But the face is the only thing that is the same. The rest of her body is covered in metal. There is no doubt that it is man-made. Labrys lets out a short scream and backs up.
Stop! I'm not like that!
Calm down. It's just taking that form to agitate you.
Yosuke is frantically trying to calm confused Labrys. It's just taking that form to agitate you. That's what he says, but is that really the case? I have my own suspicions.
No! 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 No!
Taking that form, huh? Well, you have a point. I do have the power to confuse people's senses, warp what they're seeing, twist what they're hearing.
That's how you made my senpai fight each other!
Of the things you're seeing right now, which do you think is real and which is fake?
The former General Teddy, no, Labrys' shadow breaks out into a grin. Labrys, meanwhile, is cringing in fear as he holds on to Yosuke's sleeve.
No! I'm not like you! I'm human, aren't I?
Huh? What do you mean?
I can see that Yuki does not know how to answer this sudden question.
And how did I come to have these special powers? Why, it's because I have them.
With that, the shadow snapped his finger. At once, static like that on a poorly tuned TV started appearing around Labrys and slowly involved hers. I enhanced my visions. Nothing is happening to Labrys' body. It was my own vision that was clouded, or had been until now. Soon after, the noise dissipated. An inhuman-looking girl is standing in her place.
Huh? A robot?
Metallic's arms and legs stand from her uniform. Thrusters on her back spread like wings. It's just as I thought. Her body is identical to that of the shadow in front of her.
Look, that's what she really looks like. It's her who's been deceiving you all from the start. Not only you, but herself too. She really thinks that she's a human living a normal life at school. To reinforce her make-believe as real, she prevented herself from accessing any memories that could contradict that. She even sealed away her own name.
No! Stop! Why are you doing this?
Kindly hurry up and remember me. Remember yourself. It's pretty rude of you to even forget your own name.
No! I don't want to remember!
Huh. Is that so? Looks like you still need an extra push.
The shadow grins evilly and swings the enormous axe at Labrys, or actually at Yosuke-san.
Yosuke-senpai!
Before the axe can complete its arc, I'm already in action. I must intervene. Neither Labrys is shocked at seeing her true form, nor Yosuke-san or Rise-san are prepared for the attack.
What the?
I deflect the strike with the metallic part of my arm. It was heavier than I anticipated. The battle axe is a giant lump of metal that blocks most of my vision.
A girl? Wait, you're a robot too?
I turn my head to Labrys and look straight into her sharp eyes.
You must remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you. You must accept it, no matter how painful it may be.
I tell her name in a clear voice. Her official name, which includes something no human has, a model number.
Your true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys.
Labrys quiver violently, as if an invisible arrow has pierced her chest. And yeah. Ending.
Welcome to
Now
the
we can
Zen
access Labrys' story and
This
finish
exists between
the story.
dream and reality.